In your car, listen to Newswatch 16 on WKRZ AM 1340.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Hart, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. A truck crash in Monroe County causes a potentially dangerous situation. It happened on a rural road in Polk Township. The truck carrying a dangerous chemical and some blasting caps. Newswatch 16's Marisa Burke says that caused some families to be evacuated.
Tense moments and anxious feelings for several residents of this village in Monroe County. State police were so concerned about a threat of an explosion, they kept Newswatch 16 cameras away from the wreck until the cargo was removed. It was carrying 12,000 pounds of explosives, ammonium nitrate, used for blasting work. Tom Reitz, who was driving the truck to a quarry, says there would have been a huge explosion had the chemical caught fire.
It would have been a very hot, flammable fire, very difficult to extinguish because of the ammonium nitrate. As it burns, it produces oxygen. As it, the more oxygen, it just keeps burning. It becomes very difficult to put out.
Because of the potentially dangerous situation, this home and 9 other homes were evacuated in the area. You live down the street, right?
Yeah, a quarter of a mile down here at the next road. And we heard the noise, that's all. We heard the brakes screech about 4 or 5 times and bump. We didn't know it was a dynamite truck. And then as I say, my sister-in-law over here called us and told us we had to evacuate.
She told us that there was a truckload of explosives, and that's kind of scary,
In a matter of hours, the residents were back in their homes. They say the accident caused some inconvenience, but they're just thankful it was nothing more than that. Marisa Burke, Newswatch 16, Monroe County.
There's still some hazardous wastes where there shouldn't be in Schuylkill County. In 1980, cleanup work began at a toxic waste dump near McAdoo. A 1981 report asked that all the waste be removed, but Newswatch 16 has learned 1,300 gallons of the stuff are still there today. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds went to McAdoo to find out why.
A Klein Township employee is measuring how much toxic waste is left in a huge above-ground tank. The liquid you see shimmering in the sun contains chemicals, which the government says are hazardous.
I took a whiff of whatever's in there, and it don't smell too good. I don't know what to tell you about the odor. I never smelled anything like it.
The tank is the only container left on the former McAdoo Associates toxic waste dump. Some officials say they were surprised when Newswatch 16 had to point out the tank. They thought the hazardous stuff was trucked out long ago.
Well, I think it should be removed, which I thought was removed, and I thought all the chemicals were out of there.
Fred Wetera operates a gas station a mile from the dump. He was part of the citizens group which initially pushed to get the mess cleaned up. He also thought all of the containers were gone.
You hear it from a lot of these toxic dumps where things were supposed to be done and then you find out later on it was this way or that way, But it doesn't surprise me that there was something left there, but I think it should still be removed regardless.
Newswatch 16 has learned there was a recommendation made to get rid of the tank, and that recommendation was made 3 whole years ago. Why is the tank still in place? The EPA says the state is still waiting to find a place to dump the stuff. Tonight at 11 o'clock, why some township officials were in the dark about the tank and its hazardous cargo. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Schuylkill County.
Another toxic waste case that reporter Reynolds told you about back in 1981 has finally been settled. It was here in Edwardsville at a metals recycling plant, Meyer and Saba Metals Company, that EPA investigators found PCBs emptied onto the ground from old transformers. Today, a reduced fine of $7,500 was levied against the firm. The EPA originally fined the operator over $42,000, but it was reduced after the company claimed the PCB spillage was accidental. Newswatch 16 reached company officials today. They say that they'll pay today's penalty. The firm now has a collection and storage system for PCB transformers. Our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark, is able to speak today, despite his throat problem of yesterday. We hope, anyway. And I understand, Tom, you have a brighter outlook for us, maybe?
I do, Nolan. No, it's going to be okay. The change has begun.
I'm glad to hear that.
Weather-wise. You'll be glad to feel the difference outside tomorrow. Stay tuned.
The Auxiliary of Nesbitt Memorial Hospital, Kingston, will hold their annual June festival. Treat the entire family to a full day of games and homemade foods and fine entertainment. Enjoy the sounds of the Iron Temple String Band. Sample our chicken and spaghetti dinners. Take aim at WNEP's Tom Clark in the Celebrity Splash. Start your summertime fun at the June Festival, Wednesday, June the 20th, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the hospital grounds.
The pledges are made, the tally board has been taken down, and the money's being collected. The American Cancer Society's annual telethon is over, and now it's time for the thank yous. Newswatch 16's own Frank Andrews was acknowledged today by the Hazleton chapter of the American Cancer Society for his support. Our tireless Frank spent 20 hours of his time as host to help raise over $86,000. Congratulations to all of them. And we hope you're waving your flag today. I see as I take a peek out into the backyard. Yes, sir. He was out there an hour ago. Tom?
Yeah.
Wave that flag.
Wave that flag. You got it. Boy, we have a nice breeze blowing in the backyard now, coming down from the northwest, and blue has returned to the sky. It's magnificent. The change has begun, and we'll talk more about that after we have a look at the temperature outside now. I'm not going to drop this flag, folks. I'm going to take it right with me here. 82 degrees on the thermometer. Humidity is 48% and dropping. The wind northwest at 12, barometer rising. Air quality index today moderate or fair in Wilkes-Barre and Scranton with 56 and 58. And that comes to us courtesy of the Northeastern Pennsylvania Environmental Council up in Scranton. The high today was 84 degrees. Not too bad. The 68, that muggy low last night. 92, the record on this date, still stands, and it was set back in 1956. Some dandelions there, it looks like, on one of the road stops in Luzerne County off Route 81. Good day to have a picnic, too. There's the Newswatch 16-color satellite picture. Just in, some heavy thunderstorms over Florida, up to 60,000 feet into the atmosphere. But look here, you can see a line of clouds. That's the front that came through at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, leading the way for some cooler, drier air coming down out of eastern Canada. And that air mass will be in control of our weather right through tomorrow, into tomorrow night, and part of the weekend. And that will also guarantee some very nice weather down at the Jersey Shore this weekend. Lots of sunshine on Saturday and partly sunny on Sunday at the shore. Ocean water temperatures low 60s this weekend. A few thunderstorms out over Minnesota. That heavy hail, you may have heard about it last night out in suburbs of Denver. It was coming down. It hit the pavement. It sounded like gunshot, they said. And one police officer was dazed after being hit by hail the size of tennis balls. So they had some problems out there. But no hail and high water for us. We're in pretty good shape. Here's my forecast for tonight. Turn it off. That is the fan or the air conditioner. You won't need it tonight. Open up the windows, a nice cool breeze right through the evening hours from the northwest. Near 50 for the low out in Canton. Middle 50s in German. Wanamaie 57, Mount Carmel the same. Loganton, Clinton County, your low tonight 54 degrees. And later on tonight, the big moon rising in the east. By 11 o'clock you should be able to see it. And just above the moon, the very bright planet Jupiter. Look for it. Now here we go for tomorrow. A very refreshing day. Plenty of sunshine, comfortable humidities, a nice breeze all day long from the north. A good day to dry the clothes outside. 75, the high in Tunkhannock. Bear Creek only 72. Palmerton 77. Middleburg 77. Williamsport middle 70s tomorrow. Get outside and enjoy it. Here's the Health Watch shaping up. Very optimistic on a Friday. Resistance to aches and pains very high with that low humidity. Okay, sunrise and sunset now is 5:30. Sunset now at 8:38. Hey, the days continue to get longer. The longest day of the year is next Thursday, 1 week from today. Cool tonight, nice tomorrow. Now on Saturday, sunny to partly sunny on the day. Not a bad day, 78 for the high. Sunday, maybe a shower passing through, near 80. On Monday and Tuesday of next week, it will be getting warmer. So, Nolan, you can save a little bit on the electric bill the next couple days.
I think that that's exactly what we'll do, and we'll stay out of doors, too.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Coming up next on Newswatch 16, state titles on the line in Shippensburg. Joe Zone has the highlights of our area teams. Plus, a look back at a great year of Sports Stars of the Week. Stay tuned.
Meet Pennsylvania's leader of the pack.
Tonight at 7.
Well, the championships were on the line today, right, Joe?
High school baseball season is over right now. 4 area teams went to Shippensburg today to play for state baseball and softball titles. I'll tell you what, they ran into some pretty tough kids from around the state. Our kids were good, but they were not good enough today. First game, Coughlin and Chambersburg. Boys AAA, Coughlin bottom of the 6th, Jeff Phillips doubles. George Cole then singles to center right there to drive him home. That makes it 9-3, Coughlin trailing in the game. Chambersburg up now, top of the 7th. Dave Stewart singles and Terry Newman and Richie Scholenberger 11-3, 11 to final. The final score, Crusaders season is over, but boy, they had a great one, didn't they?
We've done very well, the coaching staff, and I think Wyoming Valley and District 2 should be very proud of the boys. They work very hard, and they deserve a great deal of credit.
Okay, next game, Pleasant Valley and Ole Valley. Boys AA, Ole Valley scored their first run, the only one they needed when Pete Vaccaro came home on a Joby Williams single. Final there, Ole Valley 3-0. And then for the girls, Pennsbury and Williamsport. Denise Mycock singles and goes all the way home now on a couple of throwing errors. Pennsbury beats Williamsport the final 4-1 in the Kutztown. Team beat the Wallenpaupack girls 9-4. Check the scoreboard and there you see it. Chambersburg over Coughlin, Ole Valley beat Pleasant Valley. And in the girls softball, Pennsbury knocked off Williamsport. Kutztown over Wallenpaupack. The high school baseball seasons are over. Congratulations, though, to all of our kids who did so well. Whoever thought a series with the Cubs would be important? It is for the Phillies. That's because the Cubs are in first and the Phillies are way back in third. 1-4 this afternoon in Chicago. First of a 4-game series. Mike Schmidt going to go for 2, and he's going to get it, and it's 1-0. The Phillies on top early. Steve Carlton pitching in this game, and boy, there's Steve Carlton with an RBI, and that makes it 2-0. Going to be a little bit more in this game, though. Juan Samuel in the third, a 3-run home run, his 5th, way back. 11-0 right now. The Phillies, it's in the 8th. Cochran is homered 2. Let's go to the scoreboard. National League, Phillies 11, Chicago 0. San Francisco leads San Diego 4-0 in the 7th. American League, Milwaukee over Baltimore 3-2. Oakland over Cleveland 7-6 in the 7th. Seattle beat Kansas City. Actually, it's in the 6th, 2-1 in the 6th. Lou Piniella, you know what? He says he can't do it anymore. The Yankee outfielder says he'll retire this weekend and become a Yankee first base and hitting coach. 16 years in the bigs, 295 lifetime average. A shoulder injury this year has slowed him. He'll finish up Saturday against the Orioles. And the Yankees' Andre Robertson being sent down to the minors. Bobby Meacham will replace him on the roster at shortstop. We've put the Rops on our Sports Star of the Week for another year. I'd like to take a look back now at all of the athletes who we've recognized since last September as WNEP TV Sports Stars of the Week. Jim Thorpe leads the U.S. Open, -2, Nicklin +1, and we'll have highlights tonight at 11.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much, and I hope that every one of those sports stars will be back and running in contention next year. Newswatch 16 continues with a change in a camp that is allowing many more people to enjoy the great outdoors.
When news happens, Skycam 16 is there first.
And finally tonight, a chance to enjoy the outdoors for people who normally don't get that chance. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis reports a group of handicapped people are getting their first chance to go camping.
If you take a local camp accessible for the handicapped, at a few warm days and a group of mentally and physically handicapped people, many of whom have never camped out before, it equals a unique experience. And one 29-year-old Laura Marino of Wilkes-Barre won't soon forget. Laura is a victim of cerebral palsy.
I love it up here. I had a good time yesterday. I'm having a good time even today.
For 36-year-old John Bartashunas of Jenkins Township, it's a little harder to get around the camp. But being confined to a wheelchair isn't stopping John from having a good time.
Oh, getting out more and seeing other people.
And that getting out is important. Mike Miller is a staff counselor who came up with the camping trip idea.
And they're also in a good social situation with their peers. They see us, we're a good role model, well, hopefully good role models for them. And that works out real well. They're learning from us all the time as we learn from them too.
I'm told many programs involving the physically handicapped and mentally retarded might shy away from a camp program like this because there are quite a few risks involved. But after talking with some of the camp counselors and some of the campers themselves, it looks like right here, those risks are far outweighed by the benefits. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Bear Creek Township.
And that is Newswatch 16 for a Thursday. Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll be taking you more than 200 feet down to get an inside look at an old coal mine. World News Tonight is next. We'll be back after 2020. For the entire team, including Karen, who has the night off, thanks for joining us, and enjoy your evening.